there is a trio of Ole Miss wide receivers, two of which are getting a lot of buzz this NFL draft season. We're looking at A.J. Brown of the Rebels coming up next on the 2019 NFL Draft Profiles on Dynasty League Football.
The NFL Draft Profile Series, NFL Prospects. Break it down, let's get it. People's pen and the gridiron scholar. Time to do it major. Let's see who running the field. Let's analyze the data. Yeah, let's go.
It's hard to think of the NFL Draft and not have anybody from Mississippi in your thoughts when you have DK Metcalf, A.J. Brown, and even their third amigo, DeMarcus Lodge, at the wide receiver position. A.J. Brown is somebody that a lot of people have fallen in love with, but John, I'm not so sure I'm seeing the same buzz and hype that I'm hearing from a lot of people throughout the industry and the Twitter world and Reddit and Facebook and anybody talking about the NFL Draft. I think you might be feeling the same way I am, but let me know your thoughts. A.J. Brown, is he somebody you're buying into?
I like A.J. Brown, but I'm definitely not heads over heels in this prospect. I have two wide receivers who I like better than A.J. Brown. He's number 3 on my board right now, and I do have a few concerns about him transitioning to the NFL. Now, the first one that I really had to get out of my mind and think a lot about, he is not Laquan Treadwell. All right, he's a different player and a different prospect. And sometimes I think it's easy to make that analogy and look back at how bad Laquan Treadwell has become playing in the NFL for the Minnesota Vikings. So take that out of your head and look at A.J. Brown as a different player because they are completely different when you watch the film. Now, he's been tremendous. 2018 and 2017, all SEC first team. So he's competed against the best talent, and he has shined on the field. He made numerous All-American teams, and he was a Blitnikoff Award semifinalist in 2017 after leading the conference in receiving. He established single school records for receiving yards last year, and 2 years ago, he tied the school receiving mark for touchdowns with 11. In each of the past 2 campaigns, he's totaled over 1,200 yards while reaching the end zone 17 times. So he has proven it on the field against the highest level of competition in the SEC. It's interesting because when you look at the scholar stats, A.J. Brown pops up. He exceeds all 3 of my benchmarks. He has 189 career receptions. He averaged 15.8 yards per catch, and he had a team catch share of 29%. So you have this tremendous resume of this young man coming into the NFL. Now let's look at the scouting reports. He's thickly built playmaker with outstanding size at 6'1 and 225. Now I wonder if he's actually going to be 6'1, 225. Waiting to see what he measures out at the combine. He's a big competitor, sudden in and out of his breaks. He shines on quick slants and pivot and seam routes. He employs head fakes, snaps his hips, and he jab steps to get open. I also like how he uses his hand to blow past corners. He has elusiveness and he has incredible savvy. He runs through arm tackles with stout body and frame. He creates separation at the top of his stem and he flourishes after the catch. He has an impressive short and intermediate route tree on his resume. But I wonder, Annie, here is my concerns and why he is not number 1 on my prospects among wide receivers. Can he beat press coverage in the NFL? I'm a little concerned about that. If a big defensive backs pressure him and push him, is he going to be able to get off the line of scrimmage quickly? He has quick feet, but he's not nuanced. I would like to see him with more technique. And he appears to lack top-end speed and uber athleticism. His combine results will highlight his skill level. I'm going to be watching him very, very closely. And one thing that I'm concerned about, when I watched him on film, he was employed predominantly as a slot receiver. Because they have so much talent at the wide receiver position, they put him in the slot and he was able to use his size and his body to win often. So I'm wondering if he's going to be able to transition to the X or the Y position easily in the NFL. I would like to have seen him had a better route tree deep and more variety in getting off the line of scrimmage. So I have a few concerns here. He is in my top 3 wide receivers, but he's the 3rd. What do you have on A.J. Brown, Andy?
Yeah, 3rd is still definitely higher than I have him at this point of the game. And you mentioned he was in the slot. I think he's suited well for that role. He had DeMarcus Lodge and DK Metcalf in that wide receiver group with him. And despite that, he still had 115 targets, which was good for a 30.1% dominator rating. You mentioned he's thick at 6'1", 225, but for me, he actually plays a little smaller than that. I've sworn off comps for Lent, but he makes me think of Jarvis Landry when I see him. And interestingly enough, they both average exactly 15.5 yards per reception in their final collegiate seasons. He doesn't always track the ball well, He can make the contested catch, but not at nearly the same levels as some others in this class. He does work well back to his quarterback, but he's a below average blocker. He's always going to be in that 5 to 15-yard range for me. So that blocking skill is going to be important for a team, I believe, at the next level. He does have reliable hands, but I don't think he gets the best separation. To me, he doesn't run clean and crisp routes all the time. Not a huge playmaker after the catch. He's not going to make a lot of people miss. I mean, I'm not trying to sound like I'm off of A.J. Brown, because I definitely do think he has potential, but I don't think it's anything extraordinary at the position. It makes me think of guys like Deshaun Hamilton, who we saw last year, who I love personally and I think has great skill and ability and will be a very solid and consistent producer at the NFL level for a while, same as I do with A.J. Brown. I just don't think he's that alpha receiver that people seem to be projecting him to be. I've seen a lot of people ranking him as high as number 1 on their wide receiver list as a first-round grade, as a day one guy. I just don't see that same thing. So because of all the hype that's surrounding A.J. Brown, I sound like I'm more down on him than I actually am. I think he's going to wind up producing at the next level like a third-rounder, but he could hear his name called as early as day 2. Let me know if you think I'm absolutely crazy for my take on A.J. Brown, and if you think I'm way too low on him, convince me, sell me, but I just don't see that guy that I want to build my franchise around. He's going to be a nice complementary receiver at the next level, at least from what I can see from the tapes I've watched and the film I've seen and all that I've done to scout his game. But again, this is just one man's opinion. Hopefully, if you're an A.J. Brown fan, you listen to John more than you listen to me on this one. But leave a comment. Let us know. Like it. Check out expandtheboxscore.com for your advanced college statistics and data. Don't forget, check out dynastyleaguefootball.com for other great podcasts and articles. And John has some other work on footballdiehards.com as well. Check out all the other players we've covered, and thanks for watching this one.